Okay, I was in a really good mood to do this podcast with my friend Gary. I've been doing podcasts on my own called Wrestle Voice Podcasts for my site, Wrestle Voice, our site. Mine and Larry, who is not Gary. They're different people. Shout out to him. Hope he feels better. He's been fucked up for a long time. I was in a good mood. We can talk about this live show that happened last week, even though a bunch of TNA fans were being little bitches about it. And then I just saw Gisele Shaw explains why. Hang on, sorry. She left TNA Wrestling. Says it felt like they didn't know what to do with her. As she was on Ring the Bell via Fightful Wrestling. What a shock. Fightful Wrestling. Look what side they're taking here. Another, just, this is nothing but lies. Everything she's saying is lies. This whole thing is, I was very quiet with it. I didn't want it to be like a big thing that it got out there. I was having tea in the morning and my phone is ringing. People reached out to me and they said, I hope you're okay. I didn't want it to be a big thing. It is what it is. Bullshit. Maybe they didn't really have anything creative wise. She went 0 for fucking 13 in title matches. Her boyfriend booked, Scott D'Amore, both fucking fired for being sexual deviants. Even Meltzer reported that she had sex with people other than Scott. Remember Trey Miguel fucking, and somehow
Yeah.
Trey Miguel got blamed for it. And now she's out there fucking being what? She's
Yeah,
a role model. She's a fucking role model for opening a fucking, for letting everybody have a part of her fucking girl cock.
Well, and to be fair, Jay, if I remember too about that time, that's when we noticed that Trey Miguel was on special assignment with NXT as well, and kind of went missing for a little bit there. I mean, I wonder if a lot of it is due to the Gisele comment, like a bit of a slap on the wrist for Trey for saying. But I don't know. Back to your point.
Point is, I'm mad now, and my day is ruined, and like I'm gonna end up going on a fucking I'm gonna end up making an article about this today. Like I just know myself. Hang on. It's just me. After I saw the news. Sorry, that was me. After I saw the news this morning about Gisele. And again, Fightful Wrestling. This is what I want to get into. Sorry, we'll get to the TNA thing in a minute, but Fightful Wrestling and Sean Sapp, he goes around being the fact police. There's not a fucking fact on anything these pussies write. They wrote a whole thing about AEW. Ready for this, Gary? This is a great one. You don't even have to read this to understand the joke. They wrote that Max keeps their numbers close to the vest, right? They don't give their numbers out. But they did say AEW on Max is one of the, ready for this, top live sports shows on Max. Can you name me one other live sports show that Max has?
Yeah.
You can't, can you? Nobody can.
No.
They had to pick the smallest
Yeah, it's
thing.
kind of like it's kind of like at the box office when they'll do the box office tally for the weekend. They'll say this movie was the #1 comedy of the week.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Like
we have the greatest TNA podcast.
Out.
Oh, it's very simple. We have the greatest TNA podcast hosted by people named Jay and Gary. That's like what they're saying, and it's amazing. What they're pointing out, whatever. I mean, AEW is a whole different thing. That they're a fucking disaster. I mean, I just saw that Tony Khan. Sorry, not Tony Khan. AEW has Glenn Gilberti blocked on Twitter. He's a fucking top podcaster.
Yeah.
They want to make everything so small and everything so happy, and that's not fucking life. It's all fake, just like Gisele's fucking tits or whatever. Everything about her. And now Ring the Bell? Fuck you, Ring the Bell. You're frauds. She got fired for fucking the president. They never, even if you don't want to mention that part, how about maybe throw in the whole Dave Meltzer reported this about you? Any reply? Nope, nothing. Because she's transgender and like you said earlier, everyone is terrified to say anything negative about a transgender person.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. That's exactly what they don't want, to be treated differently, isn't it?
Yeah. They want to be treated equally. They don't want to be treated higher than anybody else. They want equality.
Whatever. That was sorry. I know it's like 5 minutes late, but we are discussing TNA Impact Wrestling. Thank you, everyone, for all the views lately. We've been kicking ass. I mean, that whole truth thing is something you can check out. Wrestle Voice. He probably wrote 18 articles about truth. And just again, before we get into it, like if someone writes, like I can write an article right now that a source told me, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A source told me AJ Styles is going to be at whatever the fuck. A source told me
Yeah.
fucking, whatever. TNA is going to get this network, the USA Network, which probably should have mentioned that. Huge
Which
news. Huge
a
news
lot
out there.
of a lot of what gets ruined too in thought when it comes to TNA is like I know prior it was mentioned AJ was backstage at center stage, so automatically a lot of the TNA fan base or a number of them
Yeah,
buy
the
into
joke
what's
of a
going on.
TNA fan
But
base.
yeah, they're believing that because it isn't because he's got friends at Atlanta that he's there. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean he's going to show up every week because he
But
was there.
also, how about take the fucking positive out of that? That
Yeah,
AJ Styles is hanging out backstage, and maybe eventually he'll fucking pop in. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he'll be in front of the fucking. Like, he's not healthy right now.
yeah, and
Like
not to
I'm
mention you want him to return. You want him to return for something bigger, like a Hall of Fame
exactly. I
ceremony.
mean, you want AJ to come out and pop his head. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, right.
again, that's Tony Khan thinking. Do it now, 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 because we have this person.
Yeah,
Do it now, now, now. Get him out in front of the TV, then forget about them. That's
yeah.
Tony Khan, and sorry, even WWE thinking. WWE and Netflix, fucking awesome week one. Haven't turned it on since because they blew their fucking load in the first week, throwing everything out there. TNA is literally operating better than any other promotion right now. It's insane to say that. They're going to catch AEW this year. It's a matter of time. Once they get a better network, if you didn't read,
Yeah.
sorry. If you didn't read, sorry, because it's been a rough week for TNA. On Thursday, which was Impact Day, I made a video, I think 6 years ago, called something, I don't know, like Relax, it's Impact Day, haters gonna hate. And again, it was Meltzer dropping a really negative article that TNA is going to be purchased by WWE. And guess what? A day fucking later, he wrote another article that now TNA is going to end up with one of WWE's former channels, networks, because that's what WWE wants. Also, Dave had to put to keep the network away from AEW. First off, doesn't AEW have their own fucking network? What are they going to be on? Three different networks?
Yeah, yeah,
Like they just these people cannot talk without defending or trying to prop up AEW. Sean and fucking Dave, they're on the payroll. I guarantee it. No one is that like no one can like something so shitty that much. I don't believe that. Like, it's a bad show. I don't care what anyone says.
well, too, and then like they keep dropping, like when the ratings fall, they keep dropping deals like with the TNT. That's no longer right. They don't have that in place no more.
Yeah,
You burn bridges with networks like that. You kind of
exactly.
use people for a while. How long
Exactly.
before it gets out that you're in it for just more eyes on your show, and
Exactly. And look
you're
at
not really putting on the best effort
well,
to on the deal.
I mean, but whatever. TNA is going to get a great TV deal very soon. I'll say it's the USA Network just because that makes fucking most sense in the world. I think what Gary say? What'd you say before? CW or something like that, maybe?
Oh, I said with it being a USA related deal, it's very possible it could also be a sci-fi channel deal as well. We all know WWE had several shows on there at one point.
Oh
So,
yeah, sci-fi. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure which one's bigger, but I think I want to be on USA just because it's like,
oh yeah, definitely. If I had to choose, but like, I mean, it's a win-win either way because
oh
the
yeah, no,
sci-fi
yeah.
available quite a
And
few.
that's like a big thing, and I was not very happy about this. Their first live show, like, why not wait till you're on this other network?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I was so excited about this live show. I swear to God, this was a totally true story. So excited about this live show. 7:59 hits. I remembered I don't have fucking access or any way to watch it legally. So I had to find other ways to watch it, and let's just say it was very not good. You know what I mean? So
yeah. The
I didn't
quality.
really get to watch it until like after like the next day, like highlights and whatever else. But yeah, that sucked. And but like it looked awesome. I mean, talking about the TNA Live now. Like, first off,
Yeah,
what are people
I caught it on
like?
TNA
First off, I've
Plus.
seen. I don't know if you've seen this, but have you seen angry TNA fans after this? Like,
Yeah.
they had a fucking live show. It was a very good live show, was it not?
I called it a triple. If you're in baseball jargon, I would definitely
Yeah.
give the show at least a triple.
Totally fair. I would. Yeah, I would. I mean, the only thing I agreed with was Cardona.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people don't like Cardona, and fuck you all. That's my thing.
yeah, yeah,
that's me and Gary's thing.
yeah. I definitely didn't like Cardona main eventing in this, but
Oh,
I did like that he did get a bit of a pop. So I mean, it was probably good they did put him in this spot.
Yeah,
because people
true. I
knew
mean,
who
listen,
he was.
I always say it, I'm not a fan. Doesn't mean nobody's a fucking fan of the guy. I hate when people are like, "Oh, well, I don't like this guy, so everyone else must fucking hate this guy." Like, no, that makes you an asshole.
Yeah,
But yeah, like we don't like Cardona, and
I do love his
it's not.
team.
It's not personal. It's he comes and he always leaves a week or two later, and we all know he would run to fucking WWE. He would literally run to WWE, not drive a car, run, no matter when they called. So like, it's really hard to get like behind someone like that. You know what I mean? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's the
I'm talking
thing
to
with
the listeners here.
Matt Cardona showing up on the show. He might better just at this point sign some kind of deal with TNA because he could still get in a backdoor way into the WWE.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
You
you
know what
mentioned
I
that
mean?
before. Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't think are people not understanding the fact like this is like what I don't even know how long the deal was that they signed, but like
Yeah,
NXT this week, someone from TNA is going to be on there. I'll guarantee it. You know what I mean? Like Mosh is probably
oh,
going to pop up and do something. Like we have 2 shows now.
it did say multi-year, so I would say at least 2 to 3 years. So
Like I don't, and people are talking like it's the same old shit with TNA, and it's like what the fuck. Like I don't know how fans can be so stupid or like whatever it is, ignorant or like missing all these like they miss all these gigantic things happening. Like and they
yeah,
just look at like the little things that I don't know, whatever. Like you
and
know what I mean.
not to mention, this kind of fills that void. Maybe they're going to start taking these months. Remember, because we used to complain that we'd have these live shows on TNA Plus, and we would have like 3 weeks in between
Oh
shows.
yeah.
Like, I think
That's
this fills
funny.
the void a
That's
little
funny.
better.
I was like freaking out about that. I thought I'm like,
Yeah,
wait, that was something we wanted and asked for.
yeah, yeah.
So let me. Oh yeah. First off, shout out to all of the Anthem people who listen to us weekly and use our ideas. I just want to say you're very smart people. You're finally listening to the smartest motherfuckers in the TNA community. Me and Gary and Robles. Um, he's the one who, again, my boy Robles. He does he does predictions every day for every upcoming show, and they do really well. People click on them. He did top. He just did top 5 talent who should debut in TNA this year. And then he did top 5 talent who should return to TNA this year. It's all on
Does have a
WrestleVoice.
really keen imagination, especially for the long-term booking for the product. I'll definitely say that for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. He does
You know,
friggin' oh yeah. He has longer term friggin' like he'll say things sometime and I'll be like, no, it doesn't make sense. And he'll be like, yeah, because we did this last time and then it'll I'm like, oh
yeah,
shit. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, I'm the wrong one here. Okay. And like he has so much knowledge, it's for about every goddamn like independent wrestlers and stuff. And I'm like, no, I think there's
yeah.
some
I don't ever think of like
oh yeah,
booking stuff
totally, yeah.
down the road
Like,
ever.
like
I
last
just
night,
do
he
month
was
to
doing
month.
the Bullet Club last night. And I'm like, dude, I don't know shit about the Bullet Club. So like he ended up doing this whole thing by himself.
Yeah.
And it's so like he's just whatever, crazy fucking creative. All right, let's get to the show. Speaking of creative, I mean, I think we just have to say it's that fucking what the president is running creative. Who the hell's running creative? We have no idea, but again, I think that's cool. Like someone
Oh,
had to
but
have, you know what I mean? Someone had to have stepped in for creative because it's actually creative now.
I did go back. I don't mean to change the subject before we get into the review for the live show.
Well, you
But I
just
did.
did, Philly freak.
Well, I did go back and watch that pre-show for the pay-per-view, and I was like,
Oh,
wow, I
you
was
loved it,
blown
didn't you?
away by the
I was,
panel stuff
I was
that you
gonna
were
say, I was
talking
gonna say,
about.
did you do a fist pump while you were watching it or something?
Yeah,
Seriously,
I
how
just thought it
great
was.
was that? I said I take busted open everything, and I'm like, this was a fucking pre-show. Like I've never seen one like this on TNA before. Like
Yeah,
it's
they had the
exactly what you.
table,
They
round
had one,
table.
and they even had one match set up.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't know, Gary has been complaining, wanting one match for about 7 straight years. They did have one match set up, but then there was another one that happened like I
Yeah.
don't know, I liked it. It was like a throw-in kind of match. Ariana Grace was there. Like it felt really big, and
Yeah. I don't
it's
know if you caught.
incredible how.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught. Mark Henry probably wasn't supposed to say anything on the mic, and he called Ariana Grace delusional. And like they weren't supposed to make comments during her thing, and like
Oh, I did catch that. I did catch that.
but
Yeah,
Breck kind of looked at him like, "You're not supposed to, you're not supposed to say it."
but I
There,
mean,
so
Mark Henry,
yeah,
like
yeah. I
just having
just thought
Mark
it was
Henry
kind of
there, like having Mark Henry there is a huge deal.
yeah, yeah, and he looked
Mark,
great. He
Mark,
looked
they
really good.
showed Mark Henry. They showed Mark Henry during Netflix. Like, look who's in the house, Mark Henry. And I'm like, that's
Yeah,
weird. Like, that's weird. He does the pre-shows. Like,
yeah,
again, no offense to Mark Henry, but you know what I mean. He's right. He's right there, kind of.
yeah, yeah.
Um, okay, so how'd they start the show? Hendry?
Oh, you mean with the kind of like the table discussion there, like kind of like the
Oh no,
Tommy?
sorry. I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm jumping to Impact. It was
Oh,
Joe
okay.
Hendry. I think it was Joe Hendry, right? Came out.
You were confusing. I thought you said Mark Henry. I was like, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, no, I was. Yeah, you're right. I was talking about Mark Henry. I made a quick jump there.
Okay.
I made a quick jump from Mark Henry to
I
Joe
thought
Hendry, so
they
I
did
understand the confusion.
go with Masha and Spitfire, but I mean, there could have been a segment that I might have missed. I don't know.
I'm
Like,
pretty sure I'm just looking now. We long Genesis recap. Santino's outside. Promises history.
oh, yeah, there was some things.
I think a limo pulled up, and we didn't know who it
Oh,
was. Who the fuck was that? JBL? Oh, Cardona. Cardona, maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
oh, it might
Hendry.
have been. It wasn't Ali, was it? Well, didn't
Oh,
he share?
definitely was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mustafa
think.
fucking Ali returned. I mean,
Yeah,
if that was the one thing that happened on this show, I would have been happy. This dude was the
yeah,
fucking MVP
yeah.
of what? The MV fucking P this dude was. I think everyone forgets how good this was. He was better than I don't even know. Like TNA got so many great signings in the last few years. I mean, I think he's the best one. No, better
Well,
than
and I
Dolph,
like what they
better than
did.
Naomi, and better than Dolph.
And I like what they did later with him on the show. He very much hinted that he's going after the world title and not going to be stuck in the X division. So I do like
Yeah,
he's
yeah, I like that
put
a lot. Yeah,
over that
and
Josh
it's such a
Lee
simple thing. Like
scenario.
such a simple thing. Like they set him up as a main eventer. Like just by doing that.
Yeah,
Like I love that. But whatever, we'll
and
get
he's
to that. So,
very the way he carries himself and dresses. He's very
like,
much a world
oh, totally,
champion.
totally.
Especially,
And
especially if you're going to put Nick Nemeth as the world champion. I mean, I think Ali's just as much, if not better, talent than
yeah,
Nick Nemeth.
yeah. I mean, Nemeth probably. I mean, no, not probably. Definitely a bigger name and bigger draw. I would say, which is great
Yeah,
for TNA and all that. But yeah, um, guy's awesome. I mean, he's so goddamn good, and I would love to see him become world champion for the first time in TNA. That's the kind of thing they should be doing. But also, it's like it's a log jam. I want to see Backlund become champion, but I want to see Kazarian also become champion. I feel like he has to win that cash in. That dude left AEW.
not to mention he just re-signed. In case we didn't mention it on the podcast tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard to give up. Seriously, check out Wrestle Voice. I have a TNA section. You just click TNA. All the fucking news is right there. They re-signed what? I think two people. I think it was another person. Shit. Well, whatever. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, just think about the fact that there's news that TNA is like close to selling to WWE. This is right after they made a deal that they're going to be working together for a long time, and like talent is going back and forth. Like the only way I think WWE will buy TNA if Tony goes out of business. That's the only way. Like
yeah, because then
we
they'll.
talked about this before. Like TNA is like a blockade, and it's so helpful
Yeah,
for WWE where they can send people like I'm sure we said this. I said this a while back. Whoever the first person was to come to WWE, or Naomi, the second one, Naomi. I said, I'm
yeah,
like, she's gonna go back to WWE. Like that's why she's in TNA. I think they made a deal. At the time, I didn't know anything about this TNA WWE deal, and I was like, I bet you they made a deal under the table because they didn't want her, one of the Usos, wives or girlfriends, going to AEW and getting stuck for years. Like Jesus, have you heard these stories? How everyone's just getting stuck there, like everyone wants to leave, and Tony's not letting them leave.
Well, too, and I think this is a strategy planned by the WWE. They know if
Oh,
they work
fucking
with TNA,
genius.
like
God.
anybody that's kind of on the fence with the way the AEW ship is sinking,
Totally. Yeah.
you're going to want to either be a part of TNA or WWE because
And like there
you're
could
still
be,
going to get that opportunity.
and who's to say there's not conversations like, listen, you sign with TNA, listen, like Triple H, like, bro, you're gonna be over here, you know, like we're gonna get you. Like TNA is it's practice for 2 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like whatever, fine. Like I don't mind that. Watch people grow and then leaving. I don't want to watch Joe
Yep.
Hendry for fucking 3 more years. No offense to him. Like it's gonna get
Yeah.
old. Like I'm already like I like Joe Hendry, but I'm like once he won the title, I was like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's not a top
Yeah.
wrestler. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna put on great matches all the time.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Very much a better character than a wrestle
Yeah,
heavy talent for sure.
yeah. What I would have done, I mean, I don't know. I think Kaz should. I would have Kaz. I would have had Kaz cash in and kept him as the guy who just never fucking wins. Then eventually maybe he does, but whatever. So weird start. I'm super excited. Then out comes Matt Cardona, and it was like, oh, I
Yeah.
got,
It was.
I got legit sad. I think I tweeted something like, I might
Yeah.
stop watching right now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. This was a bummer if you're not on the Cardona wagon, but
it was so weird. It was like Genesis, like everything is new, and
yeah, it was
then
a kick
Matt
for sure.
Cardona, like the least creative, new, fresh thing in the world. And yet nothing personal, but like I said before, like he comes in, he leaves, he comes in, he leaves. It's like
Yeah.
he was. If anyone thought he was in with the world title, you've never watched wrestling.
Yeah.
So to me, like that's a pointless match, and I don't like that. But whatever. I mean, they did whatever. So,
But
um,
I did like that they kind of introduced him as he's still around, though, in a
yeah,
way, because he was never given that opportunity. He was always like a low card wrestler,
yeah,
kind of like the what I don't know, Jersey boy kind of gimmick kind of thing
yes,
going on, and really lame. And like I feel at least in TNA he's given a better character at least,
yeah.
even if we don't
You
care for him.
do you like Ryan Nemeth as much as I do?
I'm not big on his wrestling, but I definitely love his
Yeah, that's what I mean.
heelish character. Yeah, yeah,
I was gonna say
definitely.
I was
He's
gonna say
very
I've never seen a match with. I don't remember a Ryan Nemeth match.
yeah, yeah. He's very like I commented, like he's kind of like that spoiled like younger brother, kind of like the rivalry, kind of like between Eli Manning and Peyton Manning,
Yeah,
kind of like
totally. Yeah,
you know what I mean. I kind of get that vibe from him. Like there's a
yeah.
bit of I don't know if there's ever been any jealousy between the Mannings, but there had to been at some point when one was winning Super Bowls and one wasn't, and then when they
Oh,
started
totally. Yeah.
winning, there's definitely some issues there. You know,
I used to think about that. Like poor Eli when I was because I'm a Giants fan, and it was like
yeah,
watching your older brother become like the fucking one of the greatest ever. But whatever.
yeah,
He ended up kicking Tom Brady's ass twice and making my life. So
yeah. Ended up more than making up for it. Yeah,
it's okay. It starts off with yeah. Okay, so he gets the main event. They showed Santana making Josh quit, which Jesus, this is what I'm talking about. Like with Tony, what should be doing. They could have just dropped Josh when he wanted to be dropped. He wanted to leave the company because his friend Scott left, which is fine. They said, "Fuck you. We're gonna add 6 months or whatever onto your contract, and then we're gonna job you out." I
yeah,
like that is that's I forget who was it. One of the I was say podcasters, but wrestling guys. I think it was Al Snow. He was like, he's like Tony's making a huge mistake. He's like, when I think he was talking about Phoenix at the time. He's like, you give me a guy like Phoenix. Guess what? I'm jobbing him out on Dynamite. I'm jobbing him out on Collision. I'm jobbing him out on Rampage. Every pre-show. He's like, I would have him lose twice a night. I tape some matches. You know what I mean? And that's
yeah.
exactly what I would do with Josh. Like I would tape matches of people beating Josh before he leaves, and then airing it later in the year. Like, oh, did you ever saw? We never saw this match, but this person also beat Josh because like he's like beating Josh is a thing. You know what I mean? Like it made Santana what? Like I don't think he's face of the company yet, but he's somewhat close just for beating Josh in a feud and making him tap out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, what the hell's going on with Eric Young?
Oh, with Eric Young.
Yeah, and I have to take some well, I can't think of the word fault I'm at fault for this. I keep getting mad that Eric Young is not a good character when he's been one of the best characters in the history of characters. He probably has 10 different characters that are cool, or 5 in history, and now he's just this lame, angry
Yeah,
guy who's a good guy but a bad guy at once, and I don't know what he is.
yeah, he's kind of like a jack of all trades because one minute he's kind of defending. This
Yeah,
week he's
Josh.
Josh, and then
And
like
Macklin was like, fuck off, bro.
then yeah, like with Macklin, and then one minute he's making really good speeches at the Hall of Fame ceremony. He's kind of a jack of all trades, but like it's kind of hard to kind
Yeah.
of like consider if he's a heel or face or what,
Yeah,
you know.
pick a side. Pick a side, dude.
Yeah,
You can't be everything to everyone.
yeah.
Um,
But I did see in the tapings, it's looking like he's going to be starting a faction of some sort.
oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll get to that after. We do have spoilers, which, I don't know, maybe we'll get to. Again, check Wrestle Voice. Um, good lord. The elegances. What the hell were they wearing this time? I don't know how to explain it.
What were they?
I don't want to say cows because they're not, definitely not. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they were wearing like I don't know what they
Cowgirls,
call it,
cowgirls.
chaps. Or, yeah, like a chap, kind of kind of like
Okay,
Pauly Shore with the assless chaps
yeah.
remark.
And now
And,
this is
but they
days
weren't
after.
they weren't ass. They weren't. They were wearing clothes.
Well,
But
Heather's kind of was. Heather's kind
yeah,
of was.
yeah, yeah. They
And
definitely. That's for sure.
so I just want to, in case we missed this, TNA Knockouts made old school TNA crazy hot pictures. What's the word? Photo shoot.
Oh yeah, the photo shoots
Yeah,
of
I'm not
the
sure. Not sure if you
very
mentioned that last week or this week, but like again, we made a podcast called TNA needs more TNA.
yeah.
That's exactly what is happening right now. Hang on, before I forget, Maria Kanellis posted yesterday, February 1st. That's all, and she had herself in an Honor No More shirt. Not sure if you
Oh
saw that.
wow. No, I
Like
didn't.
some speculation that she's going to return. To me, that was just a return to TNA tees. That was not anything about Honor No More because you can't do that anymore because everyone's in
Yeah.
fake ass Ring of fucking Honor, fucking Ring of Honor joke.
But it makes me wonder if maybe they see where they're kind of like spinning their wheels in ROH and maybe
Yeah,
thinking,
but you know what? It made me think. That was my first thought, but then I thought we have Silas hanging around.
yeah,
Is Gresham still hanging around? I have no idea. I can't keep up with that dude.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I mean,
Okay, so
even
that's two.
character wise, disgruntled.
That's what I mean. So that's two. You would need literally one more to have a friggin' faction. And I'm sure there's like a bunch of old Ring of Honor guys that, like, you know what I mean? People
Oh
just
yeah,
forgot
like
about.
there was that one dude that we had wrestle on our show. I think I don't know if he's wrestling, but he was in Ring of Honor. BSK.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. There's probably 10 guys out there. I was
Yeah,
thinking, you can't do Honor No More again because they don't have the people. But yeah, they definitely do.
right.
Whatever. So that could be a thing. I mean, and that was awesome. Have Honor now you can have Honor No More on one side, NXT on the other side. Like, I don't know. I'm so fucking excited for all this. I don't know how fans aren't. And but again, back to the Elegances, who I don't know why they didn't win the title at Genesis.
Yeah.
And I would give it to him. I tweeted to Ash, like, or whatever, to Ash. Um, I forget what it
Well,
was.
I
She
think
liked it. She not even liked it. She retweeted it about like the whatever it was. But I mean, can we just make them champions because of their outfits? Like they're putting it, and that, I don't mean that in a sexist way at all. I mean they're
no,
putting
no, I
money
know what
into,
you're saying.
like, they're putting creativity into these outfits every fucking week. That's more than Spitfire's doing.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I feel like um, we do need a change in the guard in terms of the women knockout titles. I feel like it's been Spitfire and what was it before that? Was it Rosemary and
Yeah,
whoever? It
and
seemed
the
like it,
Coven before that.
yeah, it just seemed like it was always I don't know. It was always somebody in Spitfire, and it's like I
There's
feel
always
like
like 3 or 4 teams. I mean, not even sorry. There's always 2 teams, maybe three tops. Like, there's not another
yeah,
team right now. Who's on the team right now?
and I just feel like with the concierge being there, they're accommodating on that ringside. Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
could be very much the difference why they keep, they could win the title and keep retaining.
He actually
And
did
be
something this
very,
week that made me laugh for the first time, and I was like, okay, maybe the concierge isn't pointless because he did make me laugh. He was just, I don't know, but I feel like Ash can do that. You know what I mean? Give her the
oh, probably
microphone.
it's referring to like the Southern people is like kind of
Yeah.
backwards.
Seriously, can't Ash do that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so Cora Jade was what backstage with an X'd out photo of Masha, which is
Oh
Masha's
yeah,
thing. Which is
she came
Masha's
down
thing, having the X'd out photos.
and she handed it to Masha.
Yeah, so Ash ended up getting the win. I like that
Yeah,
on Danny, but Christ, I'm not watching another fucking match until they win the titles, or get rid of the division, make a women's mid card title, which would make so much more sense. Hand your tag titles to AEW, who badly needs them.
and
Also,
I did see.
maybe we're gonna get Deanna back. Have you heard about
Oh yeah,
that?
well, yeah,
She's
I did hear some.
unhappy, and so not only there was a report that she was unhappy, and then she had a match this week. And then did you see this match?
No,
Diana
no.
versus Serena
Okay.
Deeb. Ready? Diana versus Serena Deeb versus Yuka Sakaraki. I forget. I don't even. And I tweeted something like, "This is it. If she doesn't win this match, that's it. You know what I mean? She should literally walk away from AEW. Like, if she can't win a match against these fucking Serena Deeb, who is, I don't know, old, and or as a character, she's old. You know what I mean? Like, she's had
Oh yeah,
so many title shots, nobody cares.
I definitely
And
wouldn't put
Yaka
Serena in.
Sazakari or whatever. Again, no offense, I'm not anti-Japanese. I can't keep up with fucking 800 Japanese names that Tony has. Took me
Yeah,
months to learn. Take a shit.
I definitely wouldn't put Serena in Deanna's league.
Oh God, no, but they do. But Tony does, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
so she
definitely.
lost again. So she lost again.
Wow.
Sakazaki won. She's getting a fucking shot this week. Deanna's totally buried beyond.
Yeah.
And she talks shit about AEW. Anyone that talks any kind of negative, you're done. You're done. You have to blow that company 24/7. She's done. She will. I'm going to say she'll never win a match there again. Also, Camille. I mean, she's already gone.
Really?
TNA could get. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, she's making a movie or something. But I mean,
Yeah.
has she been on? Has
She's
she been back?
she's
She
been
hasn't been on
hot
any. She hasn't been on
roster.
AEW television. And again, there's been rumors she's unhappy. She was unhappy when they signed her and didn't put her on fucking TV for 6 months.
Wow.
This guy has no idea. He has. Those are two of the best female talents in the fucking world. I mean, am I?
It seems like to me, Jay, with the way he is, it's like he signs his talent. And he has this like human-like display that he can go into his room and like, oh, I got this
Exactly. Yeah,
person,
it's exactly
I
the
got
toy
this,
thing. Like people, human
but I
toys.
don't
Yeah,
do it with them.
it's human toys. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But no, I think part of it is also kind of evil Vince, like fucking Ring of
Yeah.
Honor and plays to stockpile talent. That's all it is. Doesn't have a
Yep.
TV show. He's not trying to get a TV show. If he did, he would actually book the show better. He thinks he just puts out these bullshit reports from Meltzer. Oh, they might get a TV show for Ring of Honor. Yeah, just remember they were going to get remember when they were going to get a fourth television show on Fox, and you know what happened?
Oh,
They canceled the third show instead. These people have no idea what, or maybe Meltzer and Sean, they do know what they're talking about. Maybe they know
more like
exactly what
some
they're talking about, but
executives,
they're
some
selling the
company
opposite
will give
story.
up.
Yeah, it's just so it's beyond
Yeah.
like I used to think like what point can they get to before people turn on them? And the world
Yeah.
has. Like they are what TNA was. They're the laughing stock now. Every fucking crowd that looks bad, they get abused, and it's every night. Like they still I don't know how the fuck this is possible. They're using smaller venues and it still looks small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I forget it
Yeah,
was.
and it looks stupid too. Like you got this big venue. Why not like try to move the people closer to so it looks a little bit more
Yeah.
full? You know, at least if you have these empty seats, they're
I'm
all
sure you
in a
didn't
row.
watch it. I
You
need to
know,
send you a
not
picture. I need to send you a picture of the latest venue. It was terrible. They had this. You could see fans, right? Maybe like 50 fans or whatever in the first whatever few rows, and then there's this gigantic space right behind it. And like I heard somebody talking, they're like, "Listen, dude, Tony Khan could have paid money to cover that thing up. Like you saw a giant fucking hole, and then there's no fans for a mile. Like it looked terrible. So like they were saying, like he's not even scouting these places. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he's not putting the thought into
yeah. He's
things that
not
need
doing
to put.
research and
He's not doing research that needs to be done. You know what he's doing?
yeah.
He's blocking Glenn Gilberti on Twitter. That's what he thinks is
And at the
important.
rate they're going, it sounds like you might end up having to start booking Soundstage 21 and giving away tickets
Oh, it's
for the show.
I mean, seriously, like I thought, I thought the worst, and like this is they're at a point. so much sooner than I ever thought they would be at. Like, so, I mean, sorry, so much worse. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, people calling me like, "Oh, you're a fucking crazy hater." Like, they're never gonna be like they're doing much better than you say and all that. And listen, like I said somewhere else, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're gonna be around, and they're gonna be a laughing stock, and they're going to be. Again, I'm stealing this from fucking literally word for word from. Do you know the guy's name who records with Dutch?
Oh, I know who you mean. Oh, he's from the
Yeah,
UK. I
yeah.
can't remember. Yeah,
I
I
couldn't find.
definitely know who you mean.
Also, I gotta blame Dutch for or him. I'm gonna blame him because I'm guessing he puts the podcast shit together. His name's not on it anywhere. Like, put your name on there, bro. But whatever. He did an awesome video about why the Death Riders aren't working, and he just pointed out like every little thing about what isn't working with AEW. Like James,
Yeah, I
some
like it when he will
James, I
pull
think his
back.
name is.
What's that?
I think his first name is James, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. I don't
But it
know.
was
I
so
do
I
know,
just nailed
like,
it. The point was, if anybody has a chance, if anybody can watch it, watch it. I mean, I want to send it to you too because he pointed out like production things that you would fucking love
yeah,
as a
yeah,
production geek. Okay,
yeah.
back to the.
Never used to be that way, but at
I mean,
overtime,
I
I
get,
guess I've got spoiled by.
I
Yeah,
kind of get
I
it
don't
now
know.
though. I mean, Jesus,
Yeah,
sometimes I think I turn on WWE just to watch the beautiful colors.
yeah, yeah. No, the thing is, Jay,
It's
like
like
I used to
Avatar.
comment.
I finally get Avatar.
Yeah, and the thing is, like with me, Jay, is like I used to watch like the really small independent championship wrestling from Hollywood, and like instantly when they upgraded their studio. I
Yeah,
think they might have did theirs from out in California. I can't remember some kind of weekly venue, but like when they decorated that all, I mean, even that made that stand out. It's little things like that.
any chance it was called Big Time Wrestling because that dude just got canceled by Rob Van Dam.
Oh, I don't know. It might have been.
Rob Van Dam, man, don't F with that dude. Holy shit. He tweeted. He's been tweeting about what's this guy's name? Dylan Hines, Big
Oh,
Time Wrestling. I think he was the owner of Big Time Wrestling or something. Completely left the world of wrestling.
oh, really? I
uh,
think the one I'm referring to was owned by the Marquezes.
ready for this? Um, Several wrestlers accused him of misconduct, forgery, verbal abuse, unprofessional behavior. RVD in particular has been vocal about his issues, claiming he was owed money. Himes had a history of ghosting people, failing to fulfill his commitments. Hines denied the allegations, but the backlash took a toll, leading his departure from the wrestling world. What does that mean? He just left?
I
You pay
guess
anybody? You pay anybody back, motherfucker?
kind of did the Paul Heyman treatment with the ECW, left them
Yeah, that's what I
penny.
mean. And that's what, when people stick up for independent wrestling so much, like it kind of makes me angry because people don't realize how
Yeah,
much scum is in independent wrestling and why they are independent wrestling. Like
yeah.
they are for like people think WWE is the most evil thing in the world. Yeah, they pay people. There's literally a lot of people like this who make promotions and they've run away and they never pay
That's one
anybody.
thing you
Like,
never see is people walking away like they never got a paycheck,
oh,
from
right,
that.
yeah, yeah. They
Well
make fucking
compensated.
yeah, they make people fucking rich. So whatever. Northern Armory came to meet with what Josh, and this is where I think things kind of got weird with the Northern Armory. And oh no,
Oh
no,
yeah, because
sorry, this is where
Josh,
they no, this is where they quickly jumped Josh. I thought there was a middle piece to this. No,
yeah,
so they jumped Josh.
he felt bad for acting the way he has been lately, and
Yeah,
wishes not to be remembered for that part of his
yeah,
legacy, if you will.
good job, good job. I don't pay much attention to Josh speaking. But yeah, that does make sense. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. I just don't like Josh turning face like right before he leaves, which
Yeah, it's like
supposedly is
really.
happening.
But I mean, if he would look the path he was on, he was really maniacal, and like the way they played this up, it was like, oh, okay, I'm just turning good now.
Yeah,
Like
too
just
quick.
like
Yeah,
flick of a switch. Like
I'm
it's
guessing
like
it's yeah,
we're supposed
yeah,
to forget that he hit people with his headgear and
yeah.
and all this. It used trunks to get wins and
Yeah.
things like you know what I mean.
Totally agree. Um, but I mean, the only problem is just he's leaving soon, supposedly. Well, no, very likely. So they kind of have to rush this.
Yeah,
But
that's
also,
good.
why? But my only question is, like, why? Why not just leave him as a heel? Let him fucking leave as a heel? But perhaps there's
Yeah,
something. Wow. Damn, we've done really. Wow. We are kicking ass with our. Jesus. We are back to awesome views on. What the hell is this?
Podbean.
Podbean. Podbean. We were struggling a little bit there. I think it's TNA. I would love to say that we get better sometimes, but I'm pretty sure we are what we are. You know what I
And I
mean? Like,
think too that I think the relationship with with WWE and NXT is
oh,
another
definitely, yeah.
a jump in the right
Oh,
direction.
huge. I mean, I think it's huge. I mean, it has me watching NXT now. I never liked that shit. Also, the
Yeah,
men. Oh my god, the NXT men are just god awful, except for Oba. Except for Oba
yeah. That's what
Femi,
somebody was saying that they're
god
currently.
awful. The women make them look ridiculous.
They said that that's the worst they've been since the early days of NXT. Like it's like their levels of badness are just like they're good. They're all right characters, just not very
Yeah,
good
just
in ring,
I mean,
if you will.
the problem is then the women come in and like there's like
Yeah,
8 women that are better than the top guy. Like
yeah, yeah.
Julia, fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they might have to balance that out a little bit if they want to,
it's silly.
prosper.
Yeah. I was about to say something fucked up, but I caught myself.
Oh,
But I'm gonna uncatch myself. Maybe bring Jordan in as a dude. Just saying. I don't know.
okay.
To number
Oh, she's
23.
wrestled with men.
Sorry, what was that? Oh yeah,
Oh, I just said she's wrestled with
yeah.
many bigger than her.
Well,
I
I
mean,
was. Well, I'm
stood
thinking put a
fully.
fake must. I'm thinking put a fake mustache on her and stuff. A wig.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Speaking of that, which just has nothing to do with that, Ariana Grace posted a really cool video where Santana was trying on her crown, and she like walks in catching him, and like, could you imagine how much fun they're having, a father and a daughter, like working together like this? Like, I don't know. I don't like a lot of things in life, but this made me smile. Like, I fucking love Santino, man. Like, he's so likable. And I literally had conversations with this girl like years ago from Impact on Twitch.
Yeah.
She was the nicest human in the world. And I'm just so happy to see these people like doing well. And like, God, Santino, he doesn't get enough credit. Always funny.
And he seems like he's enjoying his time in TNA, like maybe
Oh,
even
totally,
as
yeah.
much as he was in WWE. He's just like I don't know, he just like nails everything in certain
Yeah,
aspects, whether
totally,
it's stage or
totally.
top of the
He's
ramp.
and he
Or,
still kind of comes off as someone who, what's the word, deserves like he comes off as an authority figure, like not a total joke,
yeah, yeah. It's
which
just
is
gonna say
amazing.
he's definitely a bit of a hybrid version of Santino Marella. Definitely, like
Yeah,
he's
like
kind
he's
of more serious, but yet like still throws in those Santino like jokes occasionally.
so the System versus the Hardys. I don't know why this was not. Well, I guess it makes sense being non-title, but I don't know. Not when the champs win. I figure like why not make it title? But whatever.
Yeah.
Short match, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Um, yeah, that's a good point by the writer here of 411. It feels like JDC is just there for the loss and nothing more. I think they
Oh
got to
yeah,
get to the point where they throw him out. Like they need to be
but
like, "Yo, we've been losing a lot. We're finally getting rid of you,
but
bro.
if
Peace."
I remember right, Jay, I think Moose ate the pin.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Jeff Hardy hit the
Uh, that
swanton
means
on him.
Jeff can knock Moose down and hit the Swanton. Correct.
Yeah,
That's right. You
yeah,
know what?
I
That actually
couldn't
made me.
believe that. I was like, I thought JDC would eat the pin, if
And then that made
anything.
me. Then that made me think. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Because I totally remember that now. Then it made me think. Jeff versus Moose would be fucking money.
Yeah, yeah,
Anywhere. You could make that for the world title. Jeff versus
yeah,
Moose. Fucking ultimate bad guy versus biggest fucking face you have in the company.
yeah. And,
Also, Jeff Hardy has been happy. If we didn't mention that, Jeff Hardy has been talking about how he's happier than ever, which is like which is awesome for the wrestling world. And
and I
like
realized
sorry,
I
did
just
you mention? Did you hear the part where he said like he thinks if he didn't fuck up so much, he could have been Cena?
oh yeah, I did see that article.
So like I
Yeah.
think that's driving him right now. He's like, fuck that. I'm not done. You know what I mean? I can still
Yeah.
be something. I can still be bigger than.
And I really can't remember a time when Jeff Hardy's gotten a bigger win, but albeit in a tag team match. But he did pin Moose, and how
Yeah,
many people can lay claim to pinning Mister in TNA Impact?
that's an interesting. I hope they run with that. I mean, next week should probably start off with Moose all pissed off. Where the fuck is Jeff Hardy?
You got
Somebody please
lucky,
me.
Jeff.
Um,
I can just imagine him saying
Yeah,
that.
totally. Number 23 comes out. Sammy Callahan pops out asking, "What is 23?" Steph DeLander
Yeah.
shows up with the Digital Media Championship, saying she kept it in divorce, which is pretty slick. She was married to PCO. PCO fucked over TNA. Dis- attempted to destroy their title. Looked so bad for PCO. I mean, I'm not fucking. No, I'm not going to turn on this guy because of TNA. I love
No,
PCO.
I'm
He's a
def-
great character, but he looked so bad as a monster with a fucking, what was it? I was gonna say jackhammer, with whatever it is, trying to break a title and he couldn't break the title. It looked terrible.
was somebody had mentioned that he maybe he's a little bit disgruntled because like they had said they thought maybe when Scott was there he promised him the title at some point down the line, and then Scott got
Really,
fired.
The same Scott that cut him at some point, and the fans had to
Yeah,
bring.
I don't know. That's what was being speculated. I mean, it does kind of make a little sense because, like, if he was in TNA to wait for that opportunity for the world title, maybe they felt
Yeah,
he's
I'm
not,
sorry. I'm
you know,
sorry. F you, bro. That's what I got to say to that dude.
yeah,
You had
yeah.
two
I
fucking
don't know
TNA
if that,
titles. You had
yeah,
two TNA titles, and you're like 50 something years old. You kidding me? Where are you gonna go? That's gonna give you another title? No, where
yeah.
seriously? This is write it down. Someone take a fucking
I think the last
someone
world
record
title
this. He's never
he
gonna get
had,
another title outside of fucking TNA,
the
ever.
only world title I know he won was in Ring of Honor, and that was like a time when they
Yeah,
really,
when they were dying. Yeah,
yeah,
the
they
end,
were definitely
the
going
end of
on.
Ring of Honor. Yeah,
Yeah,
which again, I mean, that's like I don't know. I hate to shit on people like just incredible, but like I don't know. I always feel like it was weird. Like the people that won the
yeah,
world ECW world title at the end, it was like you
yeah,
deserve that, or did you just get it because you were there?
yeah.
But whatever, that's a whole different thing. So Sammy,
Yeah,
sorry, Q Mance Warner, and I actually did a little whatever. I marked out. We've been talking about this. I think we just talked about this dude again. Thank you for
yeah.
listening, Mance Warner.
I can't wait to see this shenanigans that
Oh
Manser
my god, totally. And
inflicts on the roster because
oh
I
my god,
always
and a
like this.
perfect first guy, him and Sammy. They're gonna fucking kill
Yeah,
each other.
I always like this knee pad up, knee pad down comment and stuff. And he goes, "I'm going to the pay window," that
But
kind of
he's
stuff in
this
LW.
guy is a good character. He's funny
Yeah,
and he's a hell of a fucking wrestler, like hardcore. Like they could swap
and
out him and Sam. He's very similar
he
to Sammy.
definitely looked in the best shape I've seen him in a
Oh,
wrestling
totally, totally.
long.
I don't know if did I say that picture?
You might have.
It was him. It was him like flexing, like a Hogan kind of thing. But like he looked
Oh,
fucking
okay. Yeah,
like he
I
looked
think you did send
great.
that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he looked great. So then next up, Fraxium versus the Rascals, historical first time ever. NXT tag titles defended on TNA show.
I was very impressed with the dude with the longer hair. Like, I mean, doing them like cartwheels and
Yeah, same
backflips.
here. Yeah,
Oh my
I
god,
came
I
in,
love this.
I came into this
I could
match
watch
like
this all day.
I came into this match thinking all I knew about Fraxium was worst name ever,
Yeah,
Frazier and Axiom. Someone put those together. Like, come on. And I don't know. Frazier, I'm still not sure about, but Axiom was a lot of fucking fun. And
yeah,
yeah, this was good. And there was a few moments where I really thought the Wrath was going to win.
yeah. So did I. Yeah, definitely. There was a lot
It,
of near falls and just where I thought maybe they might pull the trigger on the Rascals actually winning a title, but like maybe showing up on NXT and losing it back or whatever.
yeah. So yeah, that was really cool. I thought. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't Wesley show up? Or am I thinking of last week? Am I thinking of?
Oh yeah, Wesley and a couple other dudes that I'm not familiar with. Maybe
Oh yeah, sorry.
I don't know.
Wesley, Tyreek, and Tyson Dupont. I'm not sure if it's whatever.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that's his new kind of like mini faction. I have no idea. I don't
Yeah,
watch the
yeah,
product.
me neither. Yeah, I don't watch that much either. But yeah, I guess that's setting up a Rascals versus this new faction or
Oh
whatever.
wow.
West against Rascals against their old friends' new faction, which is cool. Um, yes, I didn't realize that. So thanks for just putting that together. He has a little faction. That's cool. He's fucking with his own faction. That's cool. Um, the Rascals issues continue. Yeah, okay. Mike Santana out. talked about making Josh tap, and then Mustafa. And I'm reading I have this on the 411 thing to remind me of what was happening. Mustafa comes out to a fucking huge pop. Were you
Yeah.
surprised at that? He's a bad guy.
I was to a degree, but in the same regard, I remember when he was facing Chris Sabin. I think that was when I want to say when Sabin had the title, and remember he was kind of going through that program where he was saying, "You're not what the X division represents, and we can do better and all that." And like,
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed he was getting like more pops than a dude like Chris Sabin, which has been in TNA, is known. Isn't he like the most
Oh,
winningest
totally.
X
Yeah.
division champion in history?
Yeah, I would say he's kind of like the example of an X Division champion or whatever the word is. Um, the only thing, I mean, I loved everything about this. I mean, I'm so excited for Mustafa. But like Santana was just standing there, kind of like a goof after he just beat
Oh,
Josh. Like, why didn't he
yeah.
attack him? Why didn't he try to attack him or something? I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it was all about Mustafa, and I'm so goddamn excited. Oh, sorry. He didn't just return, he signed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's who re-signed too. That was another talent we did pick up.
Dying company, a company about to be sold. That's who he signed with. Mustafa Ali, probably one of the smartest fucking people on the indies who can go wherever the fuck he wants, except probably AEW because he's not an idiot. Tessa Blanchard came out next. This was interesting. I think she was trying to be a face at the beginning, and then she knew, like the second the crowd reaction, she flipped it.
Oh yeah.
Or she was just trying to be healed the whole time. And the beginning, she was fake being nice. Either whatever. She was talking about her father, and her grandfather being from Texas, had the first wrestling show there, and she mentioned Flair, which Christian Thompson mentioned to me. Like I think it was Christian Thompson. Like maybe it was Shrage. Like maybe they're setting that up for down the line.
Oh, maybe they
Tessa
might.
versus fucking Charlotte.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, you never know.
I mean, I don't. To me, that would be the greatest wrestling match To me, they're the
Yeah,
two greatest wrestlers on the planet in terms of women. So
yeah, and then like have like Tully and
yeah. Oh my
his
god. Yeah.
corner,
Totally.
and then you know,
Oh my
in
god,
her
that would be so
corner, and
huge. Yeah.
Charlotte having Rick and hers.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. And then after that, they team up
Oh
and
wow.
they become a new four horsemen. They need two more of them. I mean, that would be the sickest faction ever.
Well,
But
they
whatever.
kind of hinted at some kind of four horsemen for women back in. I know. It's what was it, that really cheesy wrestling that they come up with?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
Provincial, whatever. I don't know. Like they did around Thanksgiving, and it was kind of like a throwback.
Oh yeah, that
They
was when Jordan was like
yeah,
Jordan and
test.
Jordan and Tessa were on the same team back then, right?
Yeah,
And they
and then they
seemed very
had
happy with each other as I'm thinking about it now. Just thinking about that
yeah, they
report
did.
that Jordan didn't want to work with her. Pretty sure that was all
Oh, okay.
bullshit. Meltzer
Yeah.
bullshit. So yeah, apologies to Christian Thompson. I did not pull your thing up in time. So I have Hole from 411 who made a good point. That's that. As usual, Blanchard feels like an absolute star every time. And to that point, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Tessa Blanchard were the three top people at the meet and greets.
Sorry about that, Jay. I cut out for a minute.
Oh, the Hardys and Tessa Blanchard were the three top meet and greet people.
Oh, yeah. I think I did see that somewhere. I can't recall where I did see that, but yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was
So again,
interesting.
she's hated by the IWC, who means absolutely nothing to anyone. If they did, AEW would be the number one company in the history of the world, because that's what the IWC says. So Hendry versus Cardona was the main event. This was okay until JBL came in, which
Yeah, and then
you'll
it kind of.
understand. You'll understand this reference. The Man in Black.
Oh, the Man in Black.
You know the Man in Black from your fucking horror movie? What is it?
Uh,
Stephen King. Stephen King.
uh,
He had a character, the Man in Black. I believe it was from what was it? The fucking the Tower. The Tower
oh,
movie.
okay. Yeah, like the
Yeah,
Dark Hour.
yeah, the Dark Tower book movie, whatever. So it's like a character but it's in other shows.
You
A
started
little
throwing
tight.
me off, Jay. I thought you were talking about the country singer
Yeah, no,
Johnny.
sorry. Yeah,
And his
sorry. No,
black.
this is Yeah,
And
sorry.
then you said horror film. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Johnny Cash is anything but horror. But
No, there's also a in
oh,
Lost.
okay.
Lost had a Man in Black, and it's
Oh,
basically
okay.
like,
Oh,
to me, it's like evil. Like, maybe there is nothing to JVL. He's just an evil motherfucker who likes
yeah,
clotheslining people. Like, because nothing makes sense anymore. Like, once he fucking clotheslined,
yeah. And
wait,
then
wait,
like after he
like,
had
why
done
didn't he
that,
help Dolph? Why didn't he help Dolph win? If he was with Dolph, why didn't he stick around and help Dolph win? I don't know.
yeah. And then like when he clotheslined Kazarian, so he couldn't cash in. Did you see Joe Hendry? He was
That's what
like
I mean. So
looking.
who was he protecting?
I don't know. All I know is he keeps saying I got plenty more where those come from, clotheslines from hell. So
Like, I really thought this was the show where we were gonna find out what the fuck he's doing, and like,
yeah,
I don't know. I see people getting mad about that, and okay, fine, but I like mysteries. I mean, maybe
I
it's a
I
little
honestly
long,
think
but
he might be mixing things up in TNA. I don't know if maybe he's trying to swerve everybody, and then he's not really in it to help anybody in the current roster. Maybe he's got somebody
oh,
that he's
totally, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, yeah.
got
Now,
somebody coming in
yeah,
that he
now you got
yeah.
the Robles. Now you got the Robles brain going. See, that's what he does. Like, he just gets like to this next level, and he's like just thinking about it. Maybe it's because
Yeah.
of this and
Well,
this. I'm like,
maybe
Jesus.
his greatness is rubbing off on me in that category,
Yeah.
Jay.
I mean, listen, Hendry came out, felt like a star. Ali returned. That was incredible, and I'm so excited for that. It
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
have
know
the
how.
it didn't have an enormous ending. Other than, I
No,
mean, listen, JBL's a pretty big star, but like, I thought
but
the ending would
I
be,
mean,
I thought this would be a cash in ending. I really did. I would have bet money on it.
but if you were a company exec, I know we're not company man, we're not businessmen, but if you were sitting back watching this episode, that first live episode in 8 years, I might add, and you were gonna think about a TV deal, what would you have been sold on this episode?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah,
everyone would be.
I would have been, and that isn't a personal bias. I just think I had a little bit of everything, and like the stuff with JBL is very interesting, and
And again,
you
that's
got
what they're doing right now. They're making shows to sell to a network. Like, this is like their A shows
yeah,
that they're doing right now. And like, yeah, I mean, I would have liked the Kazarian cash in, but like somebody pointed out, like, don't just do shit to do shit. And yeah, that's a good
yeah,
point. Like, that's
yeah.
what that probably would have been, doing shit to do shit. Like 23, that was huge. Mance Warner, I almost forgot that. Like, Christ. And people complained about this. They got fucking Mance Warner, and they got Mustafa. Like, I would have been blown away with just that. But it was also a good show. I mean, they had JBL, like, even Cardona. I don't like the dude, but other people like him. I mean, I'm seeing this review guy likes him. I'm reading here. Just
But
because we
if
don't
that
like him doesn't mean everyone
show,
else doesn't.
I'm just gonna add that, like, if people that out there that didn't like this first live episode, there's another chance at this next month in Full Sail University in
I'd
Florida.
like, I'd like to add, maybe watch something else. We don't need
Yeah,
you anymore.
that
TNA
too.
doesn't need you anymore. TNA is
Yeah,
growing. They're getting new fans. Like,
exactly.
they're doing everything new and fresh and like whatever. You want to be a little bitch? Fucking, you miss Scott or fucking whatever else.
Or it could be a
I did.
case of if the show's not for you, maybe it's you're just too old or too lame. I
Maybe
don't
too.
know.
Very likely too lame.
Too
Um,
pampered.
yeah, I mean, I have like, yeah, seriously, I don't know. Like, I don't know how anyone could have been complaining about this stuff. Okay, really quick. We got about a minute. No, well, whatever. TNA spoilers from the weekend. Uh, oh wait, no, we probably mentioned this, right? Chris Bay got a positive update.
Oh, yeah. I think we mentioned last week about RVD. Kind of, I don't know. Somebody said he went into business for himself. Kind of speaking on Chris Bay. Like they would have liked to heard it from Chris Bay.
Oh, okay.
Here
But also, I
from
got to mention, I got to
not
throw it
no
out
not
there.
RVD. We like RVD on the channel, but
Yeah,
like I guess they took it as like as about him breaking news. And like I would rather hear it from like his family member or
yeah, not
somebody.
totally.
You know what
But
I mean?
also, but also, I have to say this. Um, damn it, what's the girl's name? Ingrid.
Oh, okay.
Ingrid gave She posted something like, "How dare anyone use Chris Bay's name like to make money off?" I'm not sure what it's about. Maybe merchant. Maybe someone's selling merch or some shit.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, bullshit. That's
it got me thinking. They just used Chris Bay's fucking name, and who won the match?
yeah,
Moose.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and then somebody said to me like, "Well, the idea is for Bay to get the win back," and I'm like, "No, sorry. What, a year from now, 2 years from now? No one even knows if he's ever gonna wrestle again." Like you said,
yeah,
that was some fucking Rob Van Dam. Might have been Stone going rogue. Obviously, he had good intentions.
yeah. I think he was just like. I think it's good that the wrestling world has kind of embraced this whole storyline. Well, not storyline; it's a real thing, but like it kind of feels like a storyline as well, a
Yeah.
real compelling one, and a real life one. But
I
like
mean, the
I feel
world knew
like
nothing about him. Just to be clear, no one knew
yeah,
anything. There was no updates other than I heard this was one of the worst injuries in the history of pro wrestling.
yeah, because what CM Punk donated money to his cause too, didn't he? And I mean, I don't even know if they have any real ties to
Oh
each
my god, I
other.
forgot about that. It was so bad. CM Punk even mentioned it. Yeah, it was to
Yeah,
the point like he was literally paralyzed. I don't know if we mentioned that on the podcast before, but Van Dam pointed out he was paralyzed, and he's not
yeah,
anymore. And Van Dam said he's on the comeback trail. Like, it'll take a while, but I don't know. He didn't mean wrestling comeback, and I think a lot of people took it that way. But whatever. I got angry because Ingrid was like, I hate this fucking holier than now thing. And guess what? People in
yeah,
TNA did it in the past, and they're all fucking gone. Stop it.
yeah,
Stop talking down to fans when you just used
yeah,
Chris Bay's name. You just did it. And I get, of course, he probably, of course they asked him, "Chris, can we do this?" Whatever, you know what I mean? Actually, maybe they didn't. Who the fuck knows? But I don't know. It's do as I say, not as I do. I noticed that's my new thing for SAP. Do as I say, not as I do.
yeah,
I don't have to worry about posting facts. You got to worry about posting facts. I don't got to worry about being respectful to Chris Bay. You got to worry about being respectful to Chris Bay. Fuck all that.
yeah.
Okay, explosion spoilers. Jake Something defeated Laredo Kid and Jason Hotch. Cool with that. Macklin defeated Skyler. Cool with that. Just having a good hand still around. They are good hands. I mean, they really are. Like, I thought it was a stupid name, but
We
they
are
really are.
the good hands, you
They
know.
really are good hands.
Skylar side.
Ryan Myers defeated Leon Slater after the system caused a distraction. I like that. Slater didn't lose clean. Nemeth comes out for the first time after losing. He commends Hendry for winning, but he says he wants his title back. Interrupted by Ryan, who quickly trash talks Joe Hendry. AJ
Yeah, I
Francis
like.
comes. That's what I mean. Yeah, Ryan's fun, man. AJ comes out and says that it's his turn in the spotlight. The Nemeths have had enough and lost enough. Morella comes out and makes a match between First Class and the Nemeths for later tonight. Cool. Cora Jade defeats High-An in a squash. Why are they doing my High-An like this?
I don't know, Jay. I think they're doing it to mock you.
Cora, post-match, attacks High-An more.
Wow.
All right.
Let's
All right, TNA, fuck you, yo.
dig that knife a little further in Jake's back.
Post, Jesus. Post-match, Cora picks up High-An, throws her into the crowd, drags her
Wow.
face on the... No, that's not true. She attacked her a little, prompting Zia Brookside to come out. I like that a lot. But guess what? She got her ass kicked by Cora also.
Oh,
I
wow.
like. I like that they're making Cora look like a big. They're making Cora look
Yeah.
bigger. They're making her look bigger than she is because someone said like Cora's not an opponent for Masha, but then Masha comes
No,
down
that,
and Cora. Then Masha comes down and Cora ran away. Okay, Mance Warner with Steph defeats Sammy Callahan after the brawl goes into the crowd and then back into the ring. This sounds awesome. This is exactly what I wanted.
interesting side note with the lander in Manser. I guess I either they're really good friends or they are actually a couple. I can't remember
Oh
what
no,
I
there's a
did.
couple. They're a couple.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
very interesting. I thought that
Yeah, I
was
didn't know
pretty
that either.
cool.
Yeah, totally makes sense, and it fits like it fits that stupid storyline, like when she was married and they got divorced. Now
Yeah,
she's back with him and she gave him
yeah,
the title.
yeah. Cool.
It's
Yeah.
dumb, but it works. Mance nails Sammy with the digital media title by a big knee to get the win. Eric Young and Josh versus Sinner and Saint. There is no winner because Eric Young turned on Josh and beat him down along with Sinner and Saint. So now it's Eric Young and Sinner and Saint, which again, too quick and too much, and It's
Yeah.
hard to keep up with. I mean, I guess they're making Eric Young like a super heel before Josh leaves, which I'm cool
But then
with.
again, Jay, I seen people looking at all these tapings and stuff and putting knees down. This just looks like it's
Oh, yeah,
all
you're all
over
stupid.
the
Yeah,
board. But let
so
it
stupid.
play out.
I mean,
You know,
Cora Jade, and Mance Warner on the fucking show. Fuck you,
yeah,
seriously.
yeah. Let it,
Eric Young's gonna be psycho heel again. Wesley and Ace Austin. That's the next match. Wesley defeated Ace Austin after interference from Tyreek and Tyson. Post match, all three beat the fuck out of Ace until Trey and Wentz save him.
oh wow.
New man, third rascal, Ace Austin.
Hey,
Nick and Ryan Nemeth defeat First Class after Nick hits Casey with a danger zone, but Ryan makes a blind tag to pin Casey Navarro. I'm really liking this guy. He's such a dickhead.
yeah,
So
yeah. Very good.
he, he even fucked his brother over just so he can get a tag, just so he can get a pin.
Yeah, yeah. He's very.
Okay, that was night one. Night two, I just I thought they were a little. Um, I'll say I didn't like them, but I was gonna say not as great as I was expecting. But that could probably be a great show, or two great shows. Like this is on paper.
Yeah.
Everything looks worse on paper. More explosion. Mance wanted to beat local talent Chandler Hopkins. Macklin defeats Myers. The Rascals defeat First Class. I don't know which if that's that sounds like Impact, and they got it wrong. Cora Jade doing commentary ringside for a holy shit knockouts battle royal. Winner
Oh
gets a
wow.
world title shot. Alicia
See,
Edwards. Ash
none
by
of that
Ellen.
stuff ever hardly makes like the spoilers. Yeah, it's a setup for the knockouts battle royal, but like who's in it? You know, who actually showed up for it? You know, that kind of.
And
Do
am
they
I
get?
wrong? Didn't Jazz retire? Is this another person named Jazz? I mean, because it says
Yeah.
Jazz is in this match.
Well, somebody had mentioned Jazz on Asylum, and I'm wondering if it's the same one because
That's what
like
I
they
mean.
they
Didn't
should
we
pair
do?
her with
Didn't we do
Tasha.
her? But didn't we do her retirement thing?
Yeah, yeah, she had that program with around the time with Jordan Grace and I can't remember who the
I
opponent
don't know.
was.
Maybe Jazz lives in Texas, and she was just hanging
Yeah,
around.
that could be.
Because it was Alicia, Ash, Heather, Tasha, Danny, Rosemary, Jazz. Um, After Cora Jade distracted Zia Brookside, Savannah Evans got the victory.
Well, if we're gonna bring back Jazz, why don't we bring back Miss Tennessee herself? What was her name? Was with James Storm back in the day. Miss Jackie, you know,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean. I'm sure she could still go.
Um, Joe Hendry concert. Jake something interrupted, and will challenge Joe for the TNA World Title next week, which is later tonight. Now this is really interesting because here's what I think they're doing. I think they're kind of again listening to us. They they quickly gave title shots to Jake something and to Savannah Evans, who end up losing those title shots. So I think like
Oh,
that might
wow.
be it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's it for them. Because what do you do with them after that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you give them the
Like
the show.
I feel like they have to go. Like there's nothing else you can do with these characters. Like they've been pushed, they've been unpushed, they've been pushed, they've been not. Like they got to go. Whatever.
Well, somebody had mentioned Savannah had been in the ring for 9 years and really has not shown any signs of progressing, more like regressing. I mean, obviously, you get older, you don't have it as much,
I don't
but
know if
like she,
it's. I don't know who to blame. I don't know if it's all on TNA because I mean, how hard is
yeah,
it to book a monster to be a monster? And they never did
yeah,
that. They did it one week where she got a squash, and I was excited.
yeah, and I wonder if a lot of it is a lot of the confidence level. Like, you don't have a great deal of confidence in her. Like, maybe she's got some injuries that we don't know about as
Maybe
well.
she's close friends with someone that they
Yeah,
recently fired like a dog. I don't know.
yeah. I do
I
know
mean,
Tommy Dreamer's a
Giselle was
big
fired.
advocate for
She
her,
was
but
working with Giselle, remember?
yeah, yeah,
Maybe she's part of the Creep crew, and she's next. We'll see.
yeah.
Ace Austin defeated NXT star Tyson DuPont, or whatever, Dupont, via pin hit him with the fold. I mean, a TNA guy is beating fucking NXT guys now.
Yeah.
Weekly, maybe. And people are like, oh, whatever, no big deal. Like, fuck you. Go watch fucking Jeff Jarrett from 20 years ago. Fucking dicks. Post match. Okay, it says post match, it was the exact opposite as before. West Tyson and Tyreek attack Ace and Trey Mizell. Trey and Zach make the save. So, I mean, man, I like that. He's like basically the third rascal right now, Ace Austin. What I don't
Yeah.
like is where the fuck is Moose?
Yeah.
He did mention he was going to the UK, but I think that was in February. Whatever. Eric
I
Young
do.
is out with the Northern Armory. Macklin comes out to confront them. Steve says he's done with Eric after what he did to Josh and aligning with Judas and Travis. Josh comes out, challenges Eric Young to his last match. Matt
I,
Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Leon Slater defeat the system after. Wow, Jeff again nails Moose with a swanton and hits the win. Shit.
oh, okay. So this is a back. I don't know if this will be back to back weeks because I don't
No,
know
no, this is like probably 3 weeks
down
from
the
now.
road again.
They are definitely setting up fucking Jeff Moose. Holy shit. That might be the
Yeah.
biggest fucking match. That might be
Oh
secretly
yeah,
the
that's what
biggest match.
commenting that maybe Jeff would be going for the X Division title. I mean, which would fit because he can still kind of high fly a little bit. I mean, it makes more sense.
I just think he's too big. I think he's gotta go for the
Yeah, I
world.
definitely think he is too.
Like
But
he's
like, I
Jeff
mean,
fucking Hardy.
yeah, yeah, and I do think I mean, at least it makes more sense than having Abyss as the X
Oh,
Division
oh yeah,
champion.
totally. But I mean,
But
I really think they're setting up
yeah,
Jeff versus Moose for maybe like
yeah,
way down the line, and Moose could cash in by then.
yeah. That's
Although
a
he
good
did make
point.
his own title, making that probably unlikely. Mike
Yeah.
Santana defeats Cardona. Love it. Cardona's there, being used to lose. Love it. Love that. Fraxium. Fraxium. Fraxium defeated the Nemeths. Axiom pins Ryan. I like that because he talks and he can't back it up.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Here's a great one. Ready? The Elegances defeated the King Bees.
Oh
Who the
yeah,
fuck are
that's
the King Bees? I think you know. I'm not sure.
yeah. The King Bees are from NWA. I think they were somebody that Tasha had been sporting about on
Oh, that was that girl.
Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she had
saw that.
mentioned.
Yeah, she said TNA, like, can we bring her in or something?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was like a tryout deal, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm for any fresh blood in
Seriously.
the division.
Any two girls that are dressed alike can be a tag team for TNA.
Yeah, it can't it can't be any worse than the way what's his name's turned out with AK-40, was it 47 or
Yeah,
in
totally.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean? They got to be better than them at least, I would think. I
Yeah.
mean, I like Allison Kay. Don't get me wrong, but I think Marty was like really holding that team down.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah. It's like yeah. It's like, she needs a better friend to be tag teams with, but that's her
Yeah,
friend, so whatever.
yeah,
Mustafa
yeah,
defeated Laredo Kid. Kazarian defeated Callahan by submission. Okay, sorry. I was going to say, that doesn't make sense, but okay. Mance Warner attacked Sammy before the bell. Distracted him once the match was official, so he got attacked before the bell. I loved it. That's great. They're just keeping it
when you're
Mance
gonna
and
get your
Sammy.
gimmick matches with Manser too, Jay, he's gonna be
Oh,
doing
totally.
tables
Like,
matches,
gotta
hardcore
say,
match.
one of the TNA people who I normally don't like, one of the UK guys from We Talk Impact or whatever. They said like everything's going great or something like that, but can we get a cage match? And like I totally agree. Fuck, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
They're in big enough places now. They can get a goddamn cage. Like there's no reason. Whatever. Henry defeated. Oh, sorry. Cora Jade defeated Zia Brookside. I just don't like to put it Zia. They could have threw someone else there. But also
yeah.
Zia's getting more TV time, and we don't know how long this match is. So whatever. Joe Hendry defeated Jake something. Boom. Goodbye, Jake. You had a good run. There's nothing to do anymore. You have nothing left. There's nothing you can do with him. Whatever. Nick and Ryan come out. Ryan was demanding a title shot for Nick. This all leads to Nick attempting to super kick Jake, but super kick Santino instead. Oh, that's going to be hysterical. Oh, that's going to be great. The Rascals are out to call out Wesley and his friend. The whole scene turns into a big brawl when Ace Austin runs out. Damn, that looks like all right. So we got.
That
They have
sounds
just
like some fun.
these are nonstop feuds. I like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not just bouncing. It's
Yeah,
not random bullshit.
yeah. There sounds like a lot of chaotic moments to
Yeah,
be
I like that a
had.
lot. Yeah. Fighting into the crowd, Manson, what's his
Yeah,
name? Masha defeats Savannah, obviously, by pinfall. And again, I think that's it. I don't think we're going to see Savannah at the next tapings, or I don't think we should. And I don't want anyone to get fired, but you can't book
no,
fucking
I don't.
monsters like jokes.
Wish her the best if she is done, but
I'm going to use the
just
word.
some.
I'm going to use the word equity. She has no equity left because of the terrible booking.
There's
And then
just some
Eric Young
talent.
defeated Josh Alexander in his last match ever. Young nailed Josh with a hockey mask as a show of respect to Gary. Wow. From
Really,
Jason's hockey mask, obviously.
really.
Am I wrong? Isn't it? Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I
Shout out
didn't.
to you. That was a shout out to you, man. And then landed a pile driver for the victory. Bye, Josh. Peace, bro. And that's it.
I don't know. It didn't sound too bad. It sounded better than some weeks when we read the
And again, it's one of those things where I think spoilers
spoilers.
always. And I mean, it's spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoilers always sound better, friggin'.
and
I
to
mean,
be fair,
spoilers always look better. That's what I mean to say.
people didn't like the sounds of the tapings. It's always a build to a bigger and better story
I
when
didn't
done.
like the sound of it. I didn't like the sound of taping at first. Then guess what? I read them
Yeah,
again. They look really good. And like you have
yeah,
to
especially that
consider the fact that it's only if you got
women's
it's on
battle
paper.
royal. Women's battle royal really caught my attention because
Seriously, when was the last time they had a women's battle royal?
yeah, we don't know who's going to show up. It could be
Well,
somebody
enough
that
women to be in a battle royal.
yeah, yeah, interesting.
And like, my God, they're gonna have it freaking. They're gonna be live. I really think they're gonna be live on USA soon, and that's when, like, so like they're not gonna throw everything at the wall right now. They have to like, you know
I
what I mean?
don't think I don't think if WWE, I know they don't control Full Sail, but they did run those grounds, and I don't think if WWE ran that grounds, like I don't think they would be accommodating and be okay with us going to Full Sail
Oh
when
no,
it's
no.
best.
WWE's pushing TNA to get
Yeah,
that deal. That's the story, and I totally believe it because it makes sense.
they're pulling strings where
Like for multiple
AEW.
things. Yes, they don't want AEW to have a chance to do certain things. So yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fuck you to AEW, hold them down a little while helping TNA. It's like ECW
yeah.
with WCW. I mean, right? Isn't it exactly the same goddamn thing?
I just never thought in a million years I'd kind of be happy to be in the under the
Oh,
tutelage
totally.
of a
Yeah.
just because I always thought they were out to get you like from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
maybe that would be the end game when all said and done, but at least it's a fun ride while we're
yeah.
still
Thank you,
thriving.
thank you. Yeah, I know. Instead of what, as opposed to the
Yeah,
opposite being what AEW is. Like we said before,
yeah,
they're just going to be a laughing stock for the rest of their existence. That's what they're going to be. They're not going anywhere. They have some deals. And even when they
yeah.
get those deals, guess what? They're going to be like TNA. They'll go popping around to worse networks for a bunch of years. That's their
And
future.
those it might probably end up being on Destination America or
Seriously, like that's
something.
it. That's their future. It's not going to change because Tony is never going to hire someone that he needs to hire. You know what I mean? He's not going to
Yeah,
hire, like, I swear to God, I can't remember the guy's name. He's not going to hire a guy like Anthony Siccione, who doesn't
yeah,
need to be on television. He needs to just do his goddamn work in the back and make money and make things better.
yeah.
But whatever, that's it. We went pretty long today. Hour and 20 minutes. That's on Gary. He spent way too much time talking about the Eagles. My bad, everyone.
Be fair, I didn't say anything about the Eagles, but that's our
Okay, this was
show.
his first week where he never didn't mention it. Never
But I
didn't
don't,
mention.
I don't like we're
Got
going
to
to
give a shout
face,
out to those Eagles going to the goddamn Super Bowl again.
and I don't really envy facing the Chiefs, so I don't.
Serious.
I
That's
don't
funny.
know.
I bet on the fucking what's his name? Buffalo.
Yeah,
And I'm watching the game, and I just started laughing. Like, and I thought to myself, why didn't you bet on the team who is clearly cheating and the NFL is behind? Like, you know what I mean?
well, when I seen it was such a close game, I was like, it was like a field goal difference. I was like, the Chiefs are going to pull this out. They've pulled out so many 3-point games this year or touchdown
Did you see that
different
one
games.
play where the ball literally hit the fucking ground and they called it a catch?
No, no, I didn't actually catch that game.
It
I
was the
kind of
biggest play of the game. They got Mahomes throws a fucking, I don't know what it was, 20 yards, 40 yards. Guy makes a crazy catch. The ball hits the ground. Everyone agrees the ball hits the ground. But they said he had like
control of it.
control, but like he caught it too soon, where you literally could not have control. The ball hits the fucking ground.
Yeah, you could see the point of the ball hitting the
Like I
ground.
can just hear these guys like, it's Pat. What are we gonna do? You know, we
Yeah,
gotta give it to him.
and it looked better to have the Eagles and the Chiefs in there, and like because they faced each other 2 years ago.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. They won.
Yeah, they beat the Eagles on a
Okay, well,
very.
no, I got
I
my.
know it definitely could have been considered a hold
Okay, now I
of
got my
imputing a
Eagles.
catch, but they hadn't been calling that play all game or that call. all game, and then they
Oh,
call
yeah,
it at
that's,
the point at the end of the game where it ended up being the difference maker.
yeah, that's usually when it happens, and that's when people freak out. Like as they were saying, the guy,
Yeah,
I forget who it was. The guy kept saying, he's like, listen, man. They were saying like, should he call this? Should he call this? And like, he's like, as a player, man, he's like, I just want to play. He's like, don't fucking let the ref, it's like, fucking, don't let the referees
I'm
run the
hoping
game. He's
we
like, don't.
right.
Again,
I'm
he said
hoping,
whatever he said that great line. Nobody's paid to watch the referees
and
call to win the game. You know what I mean?
it really fucking scares me too. The Chiefs, if they win, they can make history, and that really fucking worries me because like NFL is big on history,
Oh, that's a good
and
point.
just.
No.
But I mean, I'm hoping it's a redemption story too, like when we beat Tom Brady finally. Like
Yeah,
we,
I mean,
I don't know.
I think you're good. I don't think they're gonna totally fuck you, but we'll see what
I hope
happens.
not. I'd like
I
to
don't think
win for
I don't think they're
Saquon.
gonna fuck you that hard because Barkley's a star. Hurts is a
Yeah.
star. It's not like they're
Well,
not gonna.
Hurts too, but like Saquon, he's always had like no chance at world titles
Yeah.
or and he's always played hurt or doesn't have a good line or whatever. I
He's also
just
like
like
the
to win.
nicest human in the fucking world.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone knows
yeah.
this about the guy, but like Jesus Christ, like I want to not like him. Really,
And plus,
I
and
try
plus,
to
we
not
got to
like him.
win.
You can't if you listen to this guy talk, you can't dislike him.
And not to mention, Jay, he deserves to win the Super Bowls on his birthday.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, that's even better. Jesus! Oh my God!
You know what I mean? And then like I don't know,
And again, I'm a Giants fan. Just want to point that out. So I'm
yeah,
kind of sick to my stomach right now talking about this, but
yeah,
also I don't know. I mean, like I've never been happy for a guy that left a team. It's so
yeah,
weird. But he's like I remember he said he's like they asked him like, oh man, how great do you feel? Going to the Giants, getting to beat them like that.
yeah.
The only reason I'm happy is I have a lot of friends here and family, and they got to witness it. Like
Oh,
nothing about like a revenge game. Like it was all like this team drafted me. I love the Giants, and but anyway,
yeah.
disrespect the shit of that fucking guy, and I hope he fucking runs all over those little girls in Kansas City.
Yeah, I hope he
And that
does.
should be
But
it before we get to an hour and a half.
yeah, longest podcast ever
Yeah, well,
tonight.
deal with it. We are a podcast. We're not a fucking. If you want YouTubers, go watch BQ.
Yeah,
He was bitching about something again last week.
I mean, you're talking about
To be
somebody
fair,
here.
his name is Negative, so he is Negative
Well,
BQ. So
and there are longer podcasts out there that do a 4-hour podcast for an hour and a half show. So I
yeah, I think
want to be a part of that.
the former scumbags or whatever their fucking name is. What do they do? Like 3 hour shows to review fucking Impact?
Yeah, and it's about
Good God, you could
2.5
not pay me money
hours
to listen.
of talking about their junk and
God, Jesus. Well, I've learned a lot of people like talking to and listening to men talk about their junk in the wrestling business. And hey, that's cool for you all. We don't swing that way. But, we have nothing against it either. I guess we're the straight podcast, kind of like the
yeah,
MAGA podcast, even though, I don't know, whatever. I'm not against things, but like, I don't know.
yeah.
This whole, like, um, I was arguing with someone the other day about somebody said, you really think Mike Bailey isn't getting signed by AEW because of a tweet? Because he tweeted about like he
Oh
wants to
yeah,
fuck the healthcare murderer.
yeah,
I know I'm sure a lot of people don't like him, but Bill Maher did a great thing on that, like just abusing the fuck out of this generation of do nothing people who celebrate murderers because they're good looking, and then they have the
yeah.
audacity to sit around trying to cancel people all day. Fucking
Yep.
backwards, fucking shit, whatever. Okay, that's it for this week before I get too angry. Fuck Giselle, fuck Scott. Huge fuck you to Garrett Kidney, flaming weirdo. And let's go Chiefs. Sorry, let's go. Sorry, it sounded like I was trolling Gary there at the end. No, let's go Eagles. I'm going to bet on the goddamn Eagles like before it even happens. That's how good I feel about this.
We did put up 55 this week, so hopefully
I mean,
we
seriously, that's what I said. It was exactly what I said. I said the Eagles are going to beat the fuck out of that team. And everybody's like, oh, no, the Eagles, Washington's pretty good this and this. I'm like, yeah, okay.
that's what you get for calling out Jalen Hurts saying he can't pass.
Oh, someone said that?
Yeah.
Jesus. Hurts should have said, yeah, no, I can't. I'm going to hand it to this fucking guy the whole time.
He even said he doesn't do that.
You
He
have
doesn't
to.
play. He doesn't play into it because he goes, I do what what makes the team win, and if it means handing off to Saquon and we win, that's more important.
Yeah, he threw it. Yeah, I mean that's another thing. I said I was saying I said it was like nephew was something. I was like, dude, he's gonna start this game off with a. That was the one shocking thing. You started the game off with what, like an 80-yard run. Nobody touched maybe the most amazing stat ever. Nobody touched Barkley for his first 2 runs. No one got a hand on him for 2 touchdown runs for like 100. Something ridiculous.
Okay, the line wasn't even at full strength because we were missing Jurgens for like most of the.
Oh
like,
yeah. Somebody told me. Yeah, somebody told me that. They're like, oh
You
well,
know
watch
what I
out
mean?
now. Yeah.
And we'll be
Up,
having him back at full strength week. So
up. There's Robles. All right.
okay, peace.
We'll see you guys next week. Like, whatever, subscribe, all that bullshit. Peace out. Wait, change why my stop recording button.